Let's define what a ChatGPT project actually is. A ChatGPT project is basically your workspace inside ChatGPT where you can organize all the important details for a specific goal or campaign. Instead of starting fresh with every prompt, a project lets you store background information, keep your brand details consistent, and build on your work over time. Why is this important? Because as marketers, we're not just creating one-off pieces of content, we're creating entire campaigns. A ChatGPT project keeps everything connected, so your messaging stays consistent, your brand voice doesn't get lost, and you can easily come back to refine or expand on your work. In today's tutorial, we're going to set up a project for our mock brand, Nailed It Hardware, a local hardware store. Inside that project, we'll load our key brand information, and then we'll add all the details for our week-long Black Friday marketing campaign. By the end, we'll have everything in one place, ready for us to use to create email copy. Before we hop into ChatGPT, first we need to prepare some important files, because within our ChatGPT project, we're going to be able to upload some specific information for our brand. Here is how I typically do it. I create a folder that relates to the brand. Within simple text files, I upload the brand story, the mission, the vision, things that are going to be relevant for this project. These are very simple text files. Why do I do this? Well, one, we need to put this information into ChatGPT in some format. I find that having text files are simple and easy. And therefore, if something changes in the future, let's say we have a new brand tagline, I can just update these simple text files and re-upload them into ChatGPT, because these are going to be the source of truth that relates to our brand that ChatGPT is going to be pulling from. Now we are ready to hop into ChatGPT and create our project. First, I'll navigate over here and open the sidebar. Next, I'll go to Create Project. Since this is going to be for a marketing campaign, I like to name it Campaign: and whatever the name of the campaign is. Let's create the project. Here we are in our newly created project. Let's add those important files that I talked about before. I clicked Add Files, and now I'm going to add a file about our address and URL for the location. I'm going to add our brand guidelines. I'm going to add our brand story. I'm going to add our mission and vision and values. And since this is about a week-long Black Friday campaign, which the marketing team has already decided the high-level messaging for each day, I'm going to add that as well. Now we can see we have these 5 files attached to this project. Now let's do a quick test to make sure that ChatGPT does know all the information that we needed to know about our brand. Let's ask, what is the mission of the Nailed It brand? We can see here it's taking a moment. It read the files, and now it's telling us all that information about the Nailed It brand. Great. This is correct based on the information that we provided to ChatGPT. So now, within this project, ChatGPT knows all about this brand. Now we're going to add another file to this project so that it knows about its role within this project. Let's open our sidebar and click on the 3-dot menu that relates to this project. Let's click on Add to Project. Now, just like we did before, let's add a persona. We've added the persona. that I've already written in a text file. Let's take a look at this persona by opening up the text file. Here is the persona. We want ChatGPT to act as a savvy marketing copywriter that is skilled in driving results-driven marketing copy, specifically related to digital content. We've given them information about tone and style, their approach, their goals, such as increasing open rates and click-throughs, their strengths. So this is kind of like the idea of who you'd be hiring for. So now that the ChatGPT project knows all about our brand, it has the information about our marketing promotions, and it has a persona, we can start to create our marketing copy. Now, let's take a quick glance at the file that we've already provided to this project about this week-long email campaign. So we're going to be starting it off on November 23rd with a savings message. Then we're going to have Mega Monday, where we want to drive certain category and products. Then we're going to move on to Toolbox Tuesday, Workshop Wednesday, Thankful Thursday, the Black Friday Blowout, and Small Business Saturday. Since ChatGPT knows all this information, we can now work in our project to write copy for each of these. Back within our ChatGPT project for this, let's enter our first prompt. Please create email campaign copy for November 23rd. Provide 3 subject lines, 1 pre-header, and the complete body copy. So ChatGPT is going to review all those files and its persona and the prompt, and it's going to build on that. We now have 3 subject lines: kick off Black Friday week, 50% off all tools, start strong, your project ahead. All of this looks good and is on point based on the information we have provided. One thing, we don't want to have any emojis. That's just something the boss doesn't really like. So let's ask ChatGPT with another prompt to remove those. Please remove the emojis. Okay, we could continue to make any tweaks, but this looks like a good email. Now let's choose the subject line. Yeah, I think we're going to go with number 1. Let's use the first subject line for this email. Now we have our finalized email for November 23rd. Okay, now let's repeat the process for the next day. So please create email copy for November 24th. Notice the first time it generated emails, it gave us emojis, but we gave it feedback that our boss didn't like emojis. So it's remembering that information in this project, and for our November 24th email, it didn't provide any. Let's tell it which subject line we like. Again, let's go with subject line number 1. We like subject line 1 for this email. Okay, great. Now for simplicity, and since this is only a tutorial, we are going to give it one last prompt to generate the rest of the emails. Here, we're just going to ask for one subject line. So create the email campaign copy for November 25th, 26th, 27th, and 28th. You can see here, it's referencing the files that we put into its project folder. And while it used emojis for us to denote the different copy. It did not put emojis in the emails. Oh, and it also realized that I forgot November 29th. Yes, let's do that too. It knew that in the project folder, we had a plan for November 29th. So it reminded me that I had forgotten to put that prompt in. Great. Now we have all 7 emails.
Thank you for watching. For more videos like this, please subscribe to this channel.